Hello everyone, this is LOL Freddy again with another video for you guys. It's 2018 and I wanted to show you guys how to stream PUBG on your computer using OBS at 720p 60 frame rates per second. I've been streaming PUBG for a while, for several months now, and I've encountered different settings that work best for me and hopefully will work best for you. So this is more like an update video of the things that I've learned and I want to share with you guys, okay? So, this is a tutorial for using OBS, Open Broadcast Studio, or OBS Studio, Open Broadcast Software. I forgot what it's called. Anyways, you download it from OBS. You can literally Google search OBS, and it's gonna come up on your Google search entry. And you basically download it and install it, and you follow the prompts next, next, next. And once you install it, it's gonna be the program itself, which is this window right here, with literally nothing on your scenes and nothing on your sources, and pretty much everything's gonna be empty. So I'm gonna show you guys from the beginning what you need to do to basically get your OBS set up in order to go ahead and stream. So, excuse me. So when I do this, when I create my new scene down here, it's gonna go black for a minute. I'll add the source to capture my video, my desktop, but then I'll show you again once I do that what I did, so you guys can see in real time what I'm actually doing. So let's do that. So to start off, we click on the plus sign here on scenes, and we're gonna add a new scene. So for this scene, I'll just do let's see, tutorial. Alright. So once I do tutorial, as you can see, it's a black screen. You guys cannot see me anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on sources and add this display capture, and I'll show you how I did that once I'm actually done doing this. So okay, and display that. Alright. So what I ended up doing was basically, creating the tutorial scene and then adding a source to it. How you add sources is you go down here where the plus sign is, you click plus, and you go ahead and add a display capture. Once you add the display capture, you can name it whatever you want. I just chose to go with display capture 2, just default it, and you click OK. It's going to show you your display, and you click OK one more time, and then you'll have this. If you want to integrate a webcam to your stream, it's the same process. You go to scenes right here, you go to sources, click on plus. I'm going to go ahead and click or select video capture device, and I'm going to use my existing one, which is my webcam. If you didn't have an existing one, you can just create new and then specify which webcam, but for this tutorial I already have it set up, so I'll use video capture 3, and then you do that and I'm here on the camera. So for this, then I want you to basically click on your display capture down here to highlight it. You see the red border around it? Click on video capture, actually video capture device, to highlight it, and then you can scale it down to whatever size you like. If you don't want to show your entire room like me, you can see my folded up blanket or bunched up blanket like that. A trick that you can do for OBS is hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and then click whichever side you want and drag it over to kind of crop that out. So I can crop it to make my video a little bit cleaner like that. I can just leave it down here. You can specify wherever you want to put this little guy. You can put it anywhere you want depending on the game you're playing. For PUBG, I kind of like to place it like around here. I make it a little bit smaller too, but basically right here so people can still see my teammates and myself's HP on the little bottom left corner of the screen. You don't really want to block anything that's super important in this game. But for this tutorial, I'll just leave it down here. That's a good size, pretty much decent size. So yeah, you see this crazy matrix looking thing with my I guess it's like a mirror effect. Anyways, that's just part of the streaming thing here. That's not going to show, obviously. When you minimize it, you're only going to see your desktop or the game. So anyways, so now that we get that out of the way, let me show you the actual settings. Alright, so once you have your scene, you can name it whatever you want, and once you have your sources, you can name them whatever you want. Done correctly, you can actually go to the actual settings to set everything up. So by going to settings, you click here where it says settings on the on the right hand side of the screen. Click there, and then you start from the top bottom. So general settings, I like to leave it language defaulted to English. Theme, you can choose a Acry theme, you can choose dark, you can choose default. Ooh, that's bright. I like dark, it's easier on the eyes, and that's pretty much what you need to worry about here. Under general, you can go down and kind of see all the different settings, and you can kind of play with that if you like, but for this tutorial I leave it the way it is. I just make sure the theme is dark. For the stream, this is really important. If you're streaming through Twitch, YouTube Live, or Mixer, make sure that you are selecting the correct streaming service provider. For my default here, or whatever I use, is mixer.com. That's why it's set up to that, but it's essentially the same thing. You get to pick whichever you want: Twitch, YouTube, Smashcast, Mixer, whatever you want. I have mine set to mixer.com. Server I set up to audio. I'm sorry, audio, auto. And that's good because the auto recommended is going to basically go off of the shortest ping. If you know that you live closer to Dallas, Texas, you can set up to Dallas, Texas. If you're in San Jose, California, or near to that, you can choose that. But I like to leave mine set to auto recommended. And then here you basically copy and paste your stream key from your actual streaming platform. Make sure you don't share that streaming key with anybody, because then people can steal that key and then stream to your channel for other people to see, and that can be very dangerous because they can stream some naughty things and get your account banned, for instance. So make sure that you keep your stream key a secret. When you copy and paste it, you click apply. Every time you do a change here on any of these, make sure you click apply, okay? That's how you apply the changes. Alright, so the next thing would be the output. On the output itself, you can specify which encoder to use. So, to get this look, by the way, it's going to look a little bit different when you first enable or install OBS and run it. You click on the output mode and make sure that it's set to advanced. Right now, I can't really change anything on here because I'm currently using my camera. I'm using OBS right now to record this video for you guys. So that's why I can't change anything. Anyways, make sure your output mode is advanced, so you can go ahead and get all these different settings. The next thing you want to worry about is your encoder. If you're playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I wholeheartedly recommend that you use NVIDIA encoder, NVENC, or the AMD equivalent. If you use your CPU to do the streaming, the encoding, it's gonna kill your game's FPS values. I'm sorry to say that, unless you have like a super expensive, over $1,000 CPU going in your system, I do not recommend you running a encoding process with the CPU if you're running PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds or PUBG or Pubg, however you say it. It's gonna kill your frame rates, and frame rates is key to surviving in that game and having the advantage against other players. So for this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use your NVIDIA encoder, okay? So you make sure you choose the NVENC H.264 and make sure that you enforce streaming service encoder settings. Make sure that's enabled. Rescale output, you don't have to worry about that. Leave it defaulted. You don't need to touch that. We're going to be doing our rescaling later on the actual video option down here. Anyway, so rescale output, leave it the way it is. For rate control, leave it at CBR, constant bit rate. You don't want variable bit rate or anything like that. Just leave it constant bit rate to have more control of your video, and then you can specify the bit rate for yourself. For 720p at 60 frame rates per second, I notice at 4500, 5000 kilobits per second, or 5 megabits per second is more than enough to get a clear picture at 720p 60 fps. Obviously, if you go higher to like 1080p 60 fps, you're going to need a higher bit rate to get a clear picture on the video. But for this tutorial, 720p 60 fps, the bit rate, you don't really need to go over 5000. You don't want to stress your internet anymore. You don't want to overwhelm, let's say, Twitch. If you're not partnered, I've heard that you can get flagged for streaming at a higher bit rate. You don't want to be on a bad list with Twitch or whatever it is. With YouTube, there's no cap. You can stream at however fast or however high you want. Same thing with Mixer. But keep this in mind though. It's all about balance. Yeah, you can jack up your bit rate. Let's see your upload on your computer or your internet at home. You can go to like 25 megabits per second or higher on your upload. Again, upload is super important here. You gotta make sure that you're not going beyond your upload capabilities. I recommend using, I don't know, like less than half of what you actually have as upload. You can go less than that if you need to, depends on your actual upload speeds. But anyways, you don't want to push anything too high with Twitch because they might flag you. And what I was saying before is it's a balance. If you increase your bit rate super high, yes, your picture quality is going to look amazing, but people, they want to watch your stream from a different part of the world on their mobile devices or anything like that. They're not going to be able to watch your stream. They're going to have buffering issues. So again, do you want to have high quality and have a smaller viewer list, or do you want to tone down the actual quality of your video to basically make it so other people from around the world and different platforms can watch your video, your stream? It really is up to you. But for 720p 60 fps, this 5000 kbps or 5 mbps, this goes by kilobits per second, is more than enough. For your keyframe interval, for Mixer.com, they recommend one, but for Twitch or for YouTube Live, they recommend 2. You can always leave at 0, which is auto, but you want to go and use the keyframe interval that's recommended for your streaming platform. So if you're streaming on Twitch or YouTube, set this to 2. If you're streaming on Mixer.com, set it to 1. Don't leave it at 0. It's super easy to change this. Just make sure that if you're on Twitch or YouTube, it's 2. Mixer is 1. Your preset quality, I used to leave it on Blu-ray, or I had set it up on Blu-ray before, but that was actually killing my picture quality. I noticed that when I was moving a lot, or if there was a lot of grass around me and I was moving the camera, I was getting a lot of pixelated video quality. So the moment that I set this to high quality, all that went away. The actual video became clear and it looked amazing. So if you are able to do that and have your presets set to high quality, I definitely recommend it. The lower it is, the easier it's going to be on your system, but if you're playing PUBG and you have a good graphics card, you can definitely pump this up to high quality and you'll notice a difference right away. It looks amazing. For your profile, leave it main. For your level, leave it auto. Make sure that your use 2-pass encoding is selected, your GPU is 0, and your B frames is 2. That's pretty much it for this streaming portion. Make sure you click apply, and now we can go to the next scene, or the next setting. Audio. I like to set my audio sample rate to 48 kilohertz. You can do 44.1 or 48. It's up to you. The higher the kilohertz sample rate, the better audio quality you're gonna have. The better your sound's gonna sound. Channels, I like to have it stereo. Obviously, stereo. I mean, you can do surround sound, but you know, for the most compatibility, stereo works for everybody. Desktop audio device, make sure that it matches your actual sound output device. So if you're using headsets like headphones, make sure it's matching your headphones. If you're using speakers, which I don't recommend while streaming, make sure it's matching your front output, whatever it is. And that's pretty much it for your audio. For your auxiliary or mic, make sure that it's matching with your microphone. So if you have a USB headset, your desktop audio device and your mic will be the same thing. But if you're using like an external mic like this one, then for me I got to use voice meter output, because I'm actually using a voice meter here to help with my sound. And I know this microphone is not the best, it's a cheaper mic, so that you're gonna hear like a little low rumbling in the background. I already ordered a new microphone, so I don't have that problem anymore, but for now you're gonna hear this on this video, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, for me I have it set to my voice meter banana. But here you can basically set it up to any other mic that you have. Let's say you have a regular auxiliary mic. Just make sure that you point it out to the correct microphone and you select it. Okay. For your, let's see, these don't matter unless you want to do like push to talk and push to mute. It's pretty much self-explanatory, so I don't really need to go into details with that. Audio meter decay, I leave it at fast. This is what's gonna show your actual bars moving right here. I leave it fast, so it's like more of a real-time thing going on. Alright, once you do these, you click apply. Now the next setting is video. Right now I can't change anything here because I'm currently recording using OBS. So what I definitely recommend is these following settings. So if you're going to be streaming at 720p 60 frame rates per second, this is the settings that you want. Your base canvas resolution is going to be whatever your main monitor that you're using to play the game on's resolution. So my main monitor that I use is 1920 by 1080. So make sure your base resolution, your canvas meaning where everything is, your game, your desktop, whatever it is, make sure it matches. So mine's 1920 by 1080. So that's checked off, or what's it called, change, and it's good to go. Output resolution, output scale resolution, this is where you want to do the scaling, the downscaling, like I said before. We're doing 1280 by 720, which is 720p. So instead of having it the same as 1920 by 1080, you downscale it down to 1280 by 720. Once you downscale that, it's going to be encoded and sent out to your stream at 720p. For your downscale filter, I like to use Lanxos, sharpening scaling 32 samples. The more samples that you have, the better your video is going to look, but it's also going to take more resources. So they have another one that only uses 16 samples, they have one that uses less than that, and they have another one that uses even less. I definitely recommend using this one if your system can handle it. If not, you can kind of play around and change a different downscale filter. That's a mouthful. And then your common FPS value, common frame rates per second value, 60. So if you're playing like a high pace action video game like PUBG or Call of Duty or Destiny or whatever it is, Battlefield, you want this set to 60. Overwatch even 60, because it's gonna basically make your video look a lot more fluid, your stream look a lot more fluid, and it's gonna basically set you off from the rest of the streamers. If you're streaming at 30 FPS and it's a high action video game, it's just not going to be the same. You won't have the same feel for it, you know, if you're watching a stream at 30 FPS. So for those types of games, I recommend 60. Now if you're playing like a turn-based game or something that doesn't have like a lot of graphics or motion, you can definitely downscale this to like 30 FPS or less than that if you want. So if you're playing like chess and you're streaming that, you don't need 60 FPS for that. You can just leave it at 30 if you want, or even less to save on the overhead of your system. But for PUBG and first-person shooters or third-person shooters, I definitely recommend 60. Once you have these settings configured, you click Apply. Again, I can't change anything here and it's grayed out because I'm currently recording using OBS. Anyways, click Apply. Next thing is hotkeys. This is pretty much self-explanatory. You can set up your hotkeys for whatever process you like. I'm not going to go into detail. You guys can figure that one out. It's not super hard. And then advanced. The only thing that I changed was on general, my process priority, and I have it set to high, so my stream is the highest priority thing in my system. Again, you can kind of play with this and have it above normal, normal, below normal, or idle, but I want my stream to be successfully keeping up with my computer and not just knocking off or pausing in the middle of something, so I make sure the process priority for that is high. You can obviously change this to however you want. And once you're done setting everything up, make sure you click Apply after each setting, and that's pretty much it. That's it. That's the trick to setting up OBS to be able to stream PUBG or whatever other game. In this case, we'll be doing PUBG, and you'll see a noticeable improvement since you're using your NVIDIA encoder on your graphics card versus the CPU one, which definitely kills your frame rates. So for games that require high CPU usage, use your NVIDIA encoder or your AMD encoder. For any other game that doesn't really require that much CPU usage, use the CPU stuff. I'll probably make another video for that to specify what you need to do for that. But for this case is the NVIDIA encoder. Anyways, this video is already almost 18 minutes long. That's pretty much it, guys. This is how you set up a OBS to be able to stream at 720p 60 FPS for PUBG or any other fast-paced first-person shooter game here in 2018 at the year 2018. I learned a lot from my previous mistakes and I've corrected them to the best of my ability, and I definitely noticed an improvement in my stream, so I wanted to show you that. I share that with you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, definitely feel free to thumbs it up. And if you haven't yet, you can subscribe if you like this type of content. I also have content of me playing PUBG, doing random little hacks on electronics and things like that, or just basically tutorials on how to fix computer issues. You know, if you're into that stuff, subscribe. It really helps my channel, and it helps with the new YouTube partnership program issue that that's going on right now that requires 1,000 subscriptions to monetize and all these crazy things. So a subscription would definitely help me and any other YouTuber really at this day and age. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys stay awesome. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any other questions or you have any other suggestions for me, or if you're curious about any other settings or anything in general. Let me know. I love being able to take ideas from the community and make videos out of that. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, see you on the next one. Bye.